Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and we are live here on Monday. Going to be talking about yesterday's game against the New Orleans Saints. The New York Jets lose 30-9. As we all know, Zach Wilson goes out there and has a really bad performance. Completes 19 of 42 passes for 202 yards, no touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. His first game without a turnover, actually. And so in this video, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts about everything surrounding the New York Jets, what to expect going into next week against the Dolphins. And I also want to interact with you guys in the chat. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be answering them all throughout the stream. As you guys can tell, I'll be alone in the stream. Unfortunately, Jack and Ali were unable to make today's show, so I will be alone today with you guys. So I'm excited to kick it off. Obviously, we're not celebrating Victory Monday. That's usually the best days of the week. Whenever we do get a W, we only experience that 3 times this season, unfortunately. But shout out to everybody in the chat. What's good, everybody? What up, Nash? Jersey Dolphins. Jets mess. What's good, brother? What is good? Welcome into the stream, guys. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. We're just getting the show started. I want to talk about Zach Wilson. I want to talk about Robert Saleh. I want to talk about Joe Douglas, the future of this Jets organization. Where is it going to go? Because as we know, the New York Jets right now are not looking good. They're not looking promising because if you go on Jets Twitter, you see everybody calling, reacting. Zach Wilson's a bust. He's not the future. He can't hit a layup. Robert Saleh, he's a bust. He needs to be fired. Joe Douglas, he's a terrible GM. It's nothing I did not experience. Let me reword that. It's nothing I did not expect. I expected this outlash from Jets fans when the Jets look this bad because there's no sugarcoating it. The Jets are playing bad right now. They're playing bad fundamental football. They're not playing with a sense of urgency. And it just seems like it's a lack of talent. And my thoughts about the game yesterday, I'll get into deeply in this video. And if you guys saw my reaction yesterday, and I was live during the entire game, you guys probably saw my raw reaction. But in this one, I had a whole 24 hours to digest what I saw, went back, watched some film, and I got a good grasp of what's going on. So we'll see what's going to happen in this one. The last Saints in the chat saying that Taysom Hill is the best BYU quarterback. All right, we'll see. Elena, shout out to Elena in the chat. MC coming back soon, though. Yes, Michael Carter will be back this week. That's a big-time positive. How about that? Michael Carter, who has been missing big time, and Tevin Coleman should be back. Bryce Huff should be back. So Tyler Kroft, I believe, as well. So the Jets are getting somewhat healthier because we're coming off a game yesterday where we were banged up as all hell all across the board. I mean, Zach Wilson went out there and did not have his number 1 and number 2 receivers, did not have his number 2 running back, not have his number 1 tight end. And that's not an excuse for his play. I think that the entire offense looked terrible. I don't think there's one person on that offense where you can say that he had a good game. I think it was a collective effort of bad football, and Zach Wilson included. He was missing throws after throws, but there's a lot of drops that did not help him out. Ty Johnson had probably his worst game as a New York Jet, dropping 3 straight passes early on in the game. I mean, if the Jets want to get their rookie quarterback some type of help, they need to have receivers out there catching the damn ball and getting open down the field. Because if I rewatched the game and I noticed that there was nobody open down the field, and it was really tough for this Jets receiving core to really get separation against a really good New Orleans Saints secondary. It was really frustrating. Keelan Cole couldn't get anything going. Jameson Crowder couldn't get separation. And when they were open, unfortunately, Zach Wilson was throwing the ball behind people, was throwing it over their heads. So it was just an overall miscommunication on all cylinders. I think Zach Wilson lacked timing with everybody as well. I think that you can tell that Zach Wilson was not on the same page with his receivers. He thought that, for example, I saw a play where Keelan Cole did a 10-yard out route, and Zach Wilson threw the ball like completely in the wrong spot. And that shows you that Keelan Cole and Zach Wilson not on the same page. And that is a bad sign, but at the same time, it is a rookie quarterback that Zach Wilson needs to progress and learn from these mistakes, because that's the only thing that we can go out there for the rest of the season is hope that this Jets team can show some type of progress. And hopefully next week coming up, against the division rival Miami Dolphins, we got some playmakers coming back, and Michael Carter and Tevin Coleman. That's going to be big time because the running game, we found out that Austin Walter was out with an illness all of a sudden during the game. So LaMichael Pirine and Ty Johnson were the only two healthy running backs. And Johnson had a terrible game. Perine didn't really do anything spectacular at all. And Zach Wilson couldn't do anything through the air rather. So it was really frustrating to watch that game yesterday. Really sloppy ball. We're coming off a game against the Philadelphia Eagles where the defense lost us the game. Zach Wilson had probably his best first half of his young rookie season. And then the second half was a little lackluster because he couldn't get in rhythm. He was on the sideline for over 2 hours. And then he just not look like himself in that second half. And then throughout all 4 quarters against the Saints, Zach Wilson was not looking good. So I want to start off by basically talking about Zach Wilson, because that's definitely the main topic right now across Jets Nation, across Jets fans on Twitter, New York Sports Radio, even NFL people are talking about Zach Wilson and what's going on. So, the biggest concern I have personally with Zach Wilson is his inability to hit the easy throw. That is definitely something that in the back of my head is like, damn, I cannot believe that the New York Jets quarterback right now in Zach Wilson is unable to hit the most simple throw I've ever seen. I mean, I think it's more mental than anything. Obviously, he's a quarterback that can hit those throws, and there's something where if he's not in rhythm, he doesn't have confidence, and everything disconnects. Nothing is going his way. He just gets the ball out, and it's supposed to be a quick slip screen to Braxton Berrios, and he literally dirts the ball. I don't know how that happened. The ball slipped out of his hand. That's inexcusable. Another play where he rolled to his right, pressure got in his face. He scrambled. Good job from Zach. And then he avoided the pressure. We had Ryan Griffin wide open, like 7 yards or 8 yards down the field. And Zach does a sidearm throw, and he dirts it when Ryan Griffin was wide open. Like little things like that gets me a little concerned about Zach Wilson. Because we know that he has the golden arm talent where he can make the throw 60 yards down the field. He can do everything you want out of an NFL quarterback in terms of stretching the field. But what makes you an NFL franchise quarterback in this league is if you're able to hit the easy throws, and that's something he's not able to do right now as a rookie. Now, am I concerned that's going to continue for the rest of his career? I don't think so. I think that's a very easy fix. I think it's more mechanics and mindset and confidence in yourself more than anything. And I think that over time, and when he has an entire offseason, after having an entire rookie season underneath his belt and knowing what to look back on and what to learn from and what to improve on, I think year 2 will be a completely different story for Zach Wilson. Because if you look at his highlights against the Eagles in that first half, the fundamentals were there. The mechanics were great. He was hitting the short throws with ease. He made them look easy, like any other quarterback should. He was stepping up into his throws. He was a pocket passer. He wasn't relying on rolling to his right or rolling to his left. That's the one thing I do not like about, some Jets fans takes about Zach Wilson, where they're making it seem like Zach has shown zero potential and zero positive stuff. Like, yes, it's a roller coaster season. Zach has been up and down and way more down than up. But we cannot glam over the fact that Zach Wilson has 2 Rookie of the Week awards, and he's shown the ability of a number 2 overall pick. The problem is for Jets fans is we want to see it consistently. We want to see him do it every single quarter. I know that Jets fans want to see their quarterback go out there and look like a competent guy. Well, we can say with confidence going into the offseason, I think we found our guy. And unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for Jets fans in general, right now, we cannot say with confidence that we found our franchise quarterback. Now, can he develop into our franchise quarterback? 100%. I am one of those fans in the NFL that you cannot write out an NFL rookie quarterback after just 1 year. I think you got to give him more time to develop within the system and gain confidence in himself. And I think that that's what Jets fans need to understand. But at the same time, I do not blame any of you guys that are sick of this and sick of seeing a quarterback go out there, whether he's a rookie or a veteran, just not play good football. I understand that. But at the end of the day, man, it just seemed like Zach Wilson is not on the same page with all the backup wide receivers and the backup running backs. Nothing was going his way, because if you look at the game against the Eagles, he had Elijah Moore having a breakout last couple of weeks. Corey Davis was healthy in that game. Tevin Coleman was healthy in that game. The offense looked great. And I'm not saying that I really genuinely believe if Elijah Moore played yesterday, it would have been a completely different outcome, because I do think that Elijah Moore has the ability to get open on man-to-man coverage. And yesterday, not one receiver was able to get a yard of separation. So that's really my thoughts about Zach Wilson, guys. I think that it's a very interesting topic. Jets fans have every reason to believe or have their doubts about him because of what he's showing us, the inability to hit the easy throws. I understand that, and I'm not going to be on this channel and be one of those guys that says preaching patience. You got to be patient. I understand. The Jets have been terrible for 10 plus years. We've not been in the playoffs since the Rex Ryan era in 2010. And Jets fans are sick of being told to be patient. They're sick of being told to wait for it, trust the process. It's unfortunate, but the reality is we are in year number 1 with a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator, and a rookie quarterback. And going into this season, me personally, I expected a lot of struggles, and I'm not looking at the wins and losses. And what we're at right now in the season, I expected it. I didn't expect it to be this bad for sure, but at the same time, I knew that there are going to be a lot of growing pains, and nothing will be easy to, overcome. And that's really my thoughts about the whole Zach Wilson situation. I know that Jets fans have a lot of, butting heads right now, as we all should, and then getting into a topic in Robert Saleh. I see some Jets fans are questioning him as a head coach for sure. We're going to get into all that in the stream, guys. So I see everybody in the chat. What's good? We got 10 likes right now with around 34 of you guys watching. If you guys can smash that like button for me, I'll greatly appreciate that so we can get as many Jets fans and NFL fans in here across the world in here to talk some Jets football. I see that not even Jets fans are in here talking some crap already. Fins fans, saying Zach's a bust. We got Patriots fans in here. Everyone coming in here to talk crap about the Jets. Who doesn't like talking crap about the Jets? Am I right? But listen, there's a lot of things that the Jets are going to be working on throughout the rest part of the season. The good news is we're getting someone healthy. We're getting Michael Carter back. We're getting Tevin Coleman back. I really feel like the Jets have an opportunity to finish off the season on a high note. But at the end of the day, the injuries are not doing them any favors. It really sucks. And I hate to be that guy or be a Debbie Downer, but the reality is Zach Wilson is finishing off the season with practice squad receivers and practice squad running backs. That's so infuriating to me because I wanted to see this man right here, Elijah Moore, finish off the season on a high note. And we can go into the season knowing that the Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore chemistry is through the roof because that connection was going crazy when Zach Wilson came back. We know that Elijah Moore has proved to be a legit wide receiver in the NFL. And the fact that he's on the IR is just so upsetting, and it's so unfortunate for the Jets and him personally and Zach Wilson because they're lacking that time for that chemistry. And then Zach's number 1 receiver, Corey Davis, has to be out for the year. I mean, listen, it's just so unfortunate about all these injuries to the New York Jets. But good teams do not make injuries as an excuse. The good teams are the ones that can have depth and have a good coaching staff that can put the players in the right situations to succeed. But the reality is right now, this Jets team is so young, and they don't really have the ability to have that next man up mentality, unfortunately, for the New York Jets. So yesterday, yes, we were out. We were without Elijah Moore and Tevin Coleman. We are without Elijah Moore for the next 3 weeks. He's on IR. So Dolphins fans, you guys saw Elijah Moore absolutely torch you, getting 140 yards and a touchdown against you guys with Joe Flacco slinging the rock. You don't have to worry about Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore will be out. So I know you guys were sleeping at night. You wouldn't be able to sleep because you're scared that Elijah Moore is going to do that again to you. But that's not the case. He is indeed injured. Very, very unfortunate. So I do feel like the Jets are going to be able to run the ball more effectively this week because Michael Carter and Tevin Coleman are coming back. Michael Carter has proved to be, I think, personally, the future of the Jets in terms of at the running back position. I think that getting him in the 4th round was ridiculous of itself. And then his ability to go out there and put up consistent numbers after consistent numbers on the ground, missing tackles, forcing missing tackles, keeping his balance, being a pass catcher. I think Michael Carter's proved to be the future of the Jets when it comes to the running back spot. And it's a big time positive that he's finally coming back because why do the Jets have such bad luck? Michael Carter was in the middle of a breakout. He had like 4 straight games of really good play, and then he goes down, high ankle sprain, IR. Elijah Moore, like 6 straight games of phenomenal ball, leads the NFL with touchdowns in that span, 3rd in the NFL in yards, fantasy football, like just going crazy in fantasy football. All NFL fans around the world are raving about Elijah Moore. Nope, Elijah Moore, quad injury. You're on the IR. Can anything go well? Anything go good for the New York Jets? Like, it feels like any little optimistic hope that we can get gets thrown onto the injured reserve list. Like, that's the life as a Jets fan. I'm used to it by now, so I'm numb to the pain. But I'm here with you guys to get through the suffering. I know Jets fans, we're in this together. And of course, the AFC East rivals and the Dolphins, Bills, and Patriots fans are just going to laugh at us and say we suck and this, and that. Don't let them get to you. We know we suck, okay? We don't need you guys to remind us. But we appreciate all the banter, of course. So let's get into some the Jets defense. Why don't we? The Jets defense yesterday, I think, actually had a solid game. They did not have a terrible game like they usually do. They did not have a good game by any means. We did give up 30 damn points. One of those touchdowns was just in garbage time, and the Jets just decided to give up, and Taysom Hill ran for a 40-yard touchdown. But, CJ Mosley had one of his better games of the season. He had 17 total tackles. He was all over the place. He played with intense energy, something that you want to see from your leader on defense. Quinton Williams unfortunately went down with an injury, but it seems like he'll be okay. He's going to be limited at practice this week. And it just seems like the Jets are unable to stop the run. Bryce Hall continues to be a really good piece on this Jets team. I have confidence in him being able to lock down any wide receiver, to be honest. I feel like Bryce Hall is a guy that is being slept on around the league. I think he's one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the NFL, and I'm excited to see what Bryce Hall could do. The 2020 draft class has definitely been a crapshoot, but the one positive from that draft class is definitely Bryce Hall. He's proved to be our starting cornerback for the future. I think that the Jets need to draft another one next year or sign one free agency, and I'm comfortable with having Bryce Hall and whoever we get in the offseason as our two starting cornerbacks next year for the Jets for sure. And on the defensive line, man, it just seems like we're very inconsistent at getting to the quarterback. We're lacking a true edge presence. Obviously, Carl Lawson was supposed to be that blockbuster guy to come in here and get that edge pressure. But when you don't have a dominant guy, you're relying on interior pass rush, and that's way harder to get to the quarterback when you're relying on your interior guys like Quinton Williams and John Franklin Myers and Foley Fatukasi and Sheldon Rankins to get home. It's really hard to do that. And the bread and butter of this Jets defense is that interior defensive line. It is that defensive line. If you cannot get to the quarterback and not stop the run, the defense is going to be getting destroyed all game long. And that's what we've been seeing. I also noticed that the Jets defense has been atrocious on third down. Every time I feel like it's third down, the Jets give up a first down, whether it's a crosser over the middle, a tight end wide open, finds a soft spot in the zone, and it drives me insane. It's like, you guys watch my live reaction to these games, I'm assuming, and every time it's 3rd and 7, I hype it up because it's a big damn deal because this Jets defense does not get any pressure on the quarterback when you need to in the clutch moments. The defense is coming off one of the worst performances I've ever seen against the Eagles. They bounced back. They looked decent against the Saints, but we all know why we lost yesterday. It was the offense. The offense did not get in the end zone once. But the only positive yesterday, guys, is Eddie Pinheiro, 3 for 3 from the free at the field goal. Let's go. Do we have a kicker, guys? Is Eddie Pinheiro the future? Let's go. It's a joke. I don't really want to talk about a kicker as our only positive. That's definitely a bad situation. But listen, I'm really excited to see what the rest of the season is going to be about. I know that some people are saying we should bench Zach Wilson. I couldn't disagree more. This is valuable reps for Zach Wilson to learn how to be an NFL quarterback, how to gain his confidence. The last thing the Jets need to do is bench him and put in Mike White or Joe Flacco. That would be there. What's the point? Zach Wilson already had his opportunity to sit back and watch. If your argument is, oh, Wilson could sit back and watch a quarterback do what you're supposed to do. He already did that. He had 4 weeks off nursing his PCL injury. Why would you bench your quarterback that you spent a second overall pick on? That makes absolutely no sense. For the people that say that in the chat, people that say that on Twitter to me, I'm scratching my head like, yo, what do you even say? Like, why? You need to give your quarterback every single opportunity to grow. He's going through the growing pains right now. And I know that Jets fans are, sick and tired of the inconsistencies from him, missing the easy throws. But I still believe in Zach. But at the same time, I cannot say with a straight face, I'm not concerned. For sure. I understand what is happening when it comes to a rookie quarterback. So I'm going to open this up to a Jets Q&A, guys. Anybody in the chat want to answer give me any questions that I will answer. Let me know. I would love to dive into the chat and talk about some Jets. Why the F would we ever bench Zach? That's only going to hurt the team. I agree. I don't understand the logic. Couldn't agree more, man. Will the Jets fire Saleh if they fail next season? It's going to be hard to really do that. They would have to fail big time. Obviously, next year is when we are going to assess the vision of this team, because we know that this year it's kind of like, all right, foundation year. They're going to play the young guys. They're going to struggle. We understand that. But if the Jets go out next year, and when you say fail, does that mean fail to make the playoffs? Or does that mean look like what we are right now? If the Jets look like they are right now and they're getting blown out and the defense looks this bad, then yeah, that'll be a talking point. But my gut tells me Robert Saleh is not getting fired next year. Nope. I think Saleh is going to be here for a long time. Like the Jets ownership are not going to fire Robert Saleh after 2 years. That's my opinion. How about Richie or Jack we could put in as quarterback? All right, Martin. You think you trust me and Jack to go out there? That's funny. No, Jersey Dolphins. Zach did not get benched. For some reason, people think the Jets should bench him, which makes no sense. Why do you think Zach is not making the short throws? Michael, this is a great question. I wish I had an answer to this, but I think it's really mental with him. I think when you see Zach Wilson not in rhythm and you see him out of sorts and you see him not in timing with the offense, you see him think too much. He's a little antsy and he doesn't get proper mechanics and the proper fundamentals when he misses those throws. I think that's the biggest culprit, because I think we all understand that the New York Jets, Zach Wilson has the talent. I think every single NFL person understands that Zach Wilson has arm talent. That's undeniable. But that's only deep throw, medium throw right now. Zach Wilson's not being able to make the simple stuff. And that really gives me confidence, because it would be a little concerning. Like, say, for example, Zach was hitting the layups with ease, but he was struggling to throw the ball down the field. He was struggling to make the hard stuff. He was struggling to do the hard stuff. Like, he kind of needs to develop backwards. Like, he's got the hard stuff down in the offseason. He just got to work on the short stuff and work on the intermediate layups. And I feel like if he starts getting that, I think his potential's through the roof. Richie, what do you think of Kyle Hamilton? I know that a lot of Jets fans are, debating about Kyle Hamilton as a prospect. I see both sides of the coin. I know that Kyle Hamilton is a next level prospect. He's going to, really be a guy that steps in and it's hypothetically, if we draft him, fill a big need at the safety position. Going to be a guy that can play man coverage against tight ends, lock them down. He is not only a guy that can rip the ball out of the air, a ball hawk, which is Jets secondary is desperately lacking. He can also blitz the quarterback. He's a sideline to sideline guy. He's a box safety, but not only a box safety, he can line up, free safety. He's the most versatile guy in the draft class, and he's, undoubtedly a really good prospect. But at the same time, I just don't really look at Kyle Hamilton as I got PTSD for the Jamal Adams situation. Now, I loved Jamal Adams when we drafted him. He was a great player, but safety at the end of the day is not a premium position. I think that the deciding factor is who's going to be on the board. If I had to guess, Joe Douglas would rather pick a player in the trenches than a guy in Kyle Hamilton, like an offensive lineman or defensive lineman, because I think Joe Douglas is very on point with building through the trenches and prioritizing premier positions. And Kyle Hamilton's not, he's a next level talent, but he's not really, he's not going to be he could be a big time difference maker for this Jets defense, but I think that the vision for the Jets is going to be more about than trenches. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. But if the Jets do bring him in, sign me up. I think Kyle Hamilton is a very good player that will be a guy that can just, do a lot of things that this Jets defense needs, and that's be a ball hawk, rip the ball out of the air, defend the tight ends, and lock down that secondary, because the secondary is a big time weakness for this Jets team. I just have PTSD from using a top pick on a position that's not like at a premier position. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. Let's see. Dark Soldier Says Mims and Zach are messing up because of how much pressure the New York City media has given them. Listen, this is why I believe that New York sports has been pretty bad recently. The media is only getting bigger. The media is only getting more toxic. The media is only going to be down your throats even more. If you look around New York, like, yeah, New York football, whatever their name is, in the MLS just won it all. Congratulations to the MLS New York City Football Club team for winning a championship. But if you look around New York sports, if you notice a common thread, it's really hard to win, no matter what sport you're playing in. No matter it's the New York Giants, it's the Jets, it's the Yankees, it's the Mets, the Knicks. It's really, really tough to win in New York because of the media, and not everybody is built for New York. I don't think that it really takes a big time mentality to be able to survive in the media market of New York, and hopefully Zach Wilson is built for it. I can't really say with confidence. I can't tell you if he is or not. I think that's going to be something that we'll see over time. But Mims, for example, I definitely feel like he's someone that's hurting mentally more than anything. I think that Denzel Mims is a very good, talented wide receiver physically, but his mental ability is not there. I think way too many mental mistakes. The engine's not there. The sense of urgency, the effort, you just don't see it. And that's all mental, like he has the physicality, the physical tools to be a good wide receiver, Denzel Mims, but he's not putting effort. He's not putting in energy. He's not doing the little things in order to be a great NFL quarterback, wide receiver rather, because the thing that I noticed in sports in general, and if you guys watch my channel, I always say this, the difference between a good player in any sport and a great player in any sport is this. It's all the mind. You can be as physically talented in the world. It will not matter if you not have the right mindset and the right approach to the game. It's that simple. We got the first dono of the day from V-Man. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate the donations. You really help out the channel a lot, V-Man. Really do appreciate it, man. Number 3, edge will make more of an impact than a number 1 safety. 49ers D was all about D-line and linebackers. A strong pass rush will negate a weak secondary. Yeah, V-Man, that's really the thought process, even going into this year. When we had Carl Lawson, we were like, oh my God, the sack exchange is back. Carl Lawson dominating training camp. The defensive line is going to be getting to the quarterback with ease. That's going to bail out our weak secondary. And then Lawson went down in training camp, as we know. And we haven't really had a consistent pass rush. So I think that the Jets are going to prioritize an edge over a safety, if I had to guess. But I don't know if we're going to be able to be – I mean, it depends on our draft situation. If we lose out, then we might even get a top pick. But I don't think Aiden Hutchinson or Thibodeau, the 2 top edge rushers, are going to be able to be on the Jets because those guys are probably going to go 1 and 2. I wouldn't be mad if went best wideout since Wilson needs help, and besides Corey and Moore, seems like everyone else is expandable at wideout. Yeah, I know that a lot of Jets fans on Twitter are saying that they want to use that Seattle pick on a receiver. I can see that. I could definitely see them using getting another weapon for Zach. But at the same time, I do feel like it's really hard to predict what Joe Douglas is going to do because last year we had 2 first-round picks. One of them was on a quarterback and in the trenches. My gut tells me that Joe Douglas is using both of those picks in the trenches and then going to take the playmakers later in the second round, the third round, just like he did last year with Elijah Moore in the second round and Michael Carter in the fourth round. If I had to guess, my gut tells me Joe Douglas is going to draft an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman in the first round. And then the second round, he's going to draft a wide receiver and a corner or a safety. I feel like that's his mindset where he wants to prioritize the trenches more than anything else. I know that the wide receiver is a flashy, what everybody wants. We went over this topic even last year and 2 years ago in the draft. But I wouldn't. But at the same time, I would love a stud receiver because actually, now that I'm talking about it, thinking about it, if you guys remember last year, we found out that if the Jets were not going to be able to trade up for Elijah Vera Tucker, if the Jets stayed put at 23, they were going to take Elijah Moore. So maybe they do value the wide receiver spot in the first round. And there's so much factors that's going to go into it, guys. Like I know draft talk is definitely, this is a good time to talk about it, but there's so much stuff that's going to lead up to the draft that's really going to determine what we're going to do. Um, let's see. Two King Brothers says offense and defense played terribly yesterday. Ty Johnson had a bad first quarter. The only good person on defense is CJ Mosley. Yeah, CJ was probably the only stud yesterday on defense. Kyle Phillips got his first sack, which was good to see him do something. But yeah, there was really no positives out of the defense besides CJ. Bryce Hall continues to be a stud. He didn't really do anything good or bad. But CJ looks like a keeper for sure. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? I appreciate you guys tuning in. As you can see, I'm alone on today's stream. Ali and Jack were unable to make it. So I'm just with you guys. So if you guys are new to the stream, don't forget to like. We got 28 likes with 65 people watching. So if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I very much appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you so much. We need a complimentary running back with MC1. Yeah, I agree. I think that the Jets are going to draft a running back this year again in probably the third or fourth round, if I had to guess. I think that Joe Douglas is going to draft a wide receiver and a running back every draft class. If you look around the league, the smart teams do that, and they have an endless amount of talent at the skill positions. I really think that the Jets are going to draft a running back in this draft class for sure. Do you think we should focus on offense or defense? I think we should focus on defense. I think the defense lacks the most talent. I think that this past draft class was all offensive mindset. We built a core of a foundation of AVT, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, and potentially Zach Wilson, who's the most important of those three. Now it's time to flip the script. Let's get some defensive foundation pieces. Let's get a franchise edge rusher. Let's get a corner. Let's get a linebacker. There's a lot of things that this Jets defense needs, and I wouldn't be shocked if we took a defensive lineman early, like an edge and even a D tackle. Do we trade down? Thomas, very possible. I think that Joe Douglas traded up last year. I think there's a good chance that we trade up this year or trade down this year. Excuse me. If the Jets are going to be able to acquire more capital, Douglas is going to be able to do that for sure. We sacrificed 2 third-round picks last year to move up to get AVT, and that was so worth it because we're still able to get Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, and Elijah Vera Tucker's also looking like an absolute stud. So that was worth a trade. And I feel like Douglas is going to be like, all right, I want that capital back. I'm moving down with that Seattle pick, moving down 7 spots, getting an extra second and a third-round pick because this Jets team lacks a lot of holes. We need a tight end, an edge, corner, safety, receivers, interior line, a lot of things that this Jets team needs. Do you draft corner or edge with the first pick? I say edge. I think edge for sure. I think that the trenches is going to be priority for this Jets regime. I think Douglas and Saleh both preach winning in the trenches, and I think that we'll see. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that's going to be happening leading up until this until the New York Jets season is all wrapped up. Let's finish off the stream talking about the Jets game coming up, guys. Reversing the Miami Dolphins, who are on a 6-game winning streak. They're currently on a bye, so they're very well rested. Tua is playing really good football. And the Jets are going to have a long day. I think that the Jets are going to be able to their offense is going to be tested because the Dolphins' defense is back to what it was last year, a dominant defense that does not let you pass the ball at all down the field. Joe Flacco did a decent job against the Dolphins, and now Zach Wilson has a chance without any of his top receivers, but luckily for him, he's got some running backs coming back. We got some running backs in Michael Carter and Tevin Coleman coming back this week, which should be a really good positive, a big burst for the offense because we need any type of players around a rookie quarterback to be able to play well. And as we saw last week, Zach Wilson crumbled with any talent around him. So it's going to be crazy to see what happens. It's a really tough time to be a Jets fan. It's a tough time to be a Jets content creator, to be honest. Talking about this team is tiring. And as you guys know, we're a very optimistic fan, but, it's hard to be optimistic in dark times like this. Zach Wilson's not looking good right now. He's struggling very, very much so. The defense is looking terrible. Robert Saleh is, in his first year as a New York Jets head coach, he's struggling. There's a lot of things struggling. And I'm not going to be here and give you guys false hope or false optimism. I'm giving you exactly how I feel straight up. And that's really how I feel. Tryhard says Dolphins has players out on COVID list. Well, that would be good in the Jets because it'll even out the playing field. The Jets have their entire team out, so we'll keep an eye out on who's out for the Dolphins. Appreciate the support though for the $2 dono. Tryhard7. Thank you so much, man. The Jets are being killed by screens, tight ends, and receiving backs. How does drafting an edge help? And I understand that the weakness of the defense is being exploited by the screens, but an edge is what's going to really be the missing piece of the puzzle, in my opinion, of what's going to unlock this system of the defensive line, because we got Carl Lawson coming back, and we have Quinnen Williams still. We're going to have John Franklin Myers still. We're going to have Sheldon Rankin still on the interior. And then if we can pair up Carl Lawson with a first-round edge rusher, then the defensive line is the fundamental part, is the heart and soul of this defense. If the D-line does not do their job, the entire defense sucks. If the D-line does their job, the defense is phenomenal. And if you look at what the 49ers did when they went to the Super Bowl with all those players, that's a perfect example of what happens when you get 4 players on the defensive line dominating. It won't be easy to do that, but we'll see, guys. This is a big-time positive. Mike Carter is back. He's the only one that wants it on this team. Yeah, I can understand that. I think Elijah Moore does as well, and AVT. I think the rookies have that fire and desire that you're talking about. But listen, very big positive. Hopefully Mike Carter can come back. It looks like he did not miss a step because he's a big-time positive for this Jets team in a lost season. So hopefully Michael Carter can be right back and make some plays, because he's going to have to do a lot. Without any receivers and Elijah Moore and Corey Davis, I don't really have confidence in these receivers to do anything for the Jets. So it's up to the running game to really hold their ground and carry the offense for sure. So, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream right now. I appreciate all the support. I know that, I'm alone in this one. Ali and Jack were unable to make it, but I definitely want to go live. As you guys know, I always go live every Monday to recap what's going on around the Jets, what happened yesterday. I'll be live during every game and every single Monday for the rest of the season. I appreciate the support. I know that the Jets have been terrible. The Jets want to make you, rip your head out of it, make you want to do whatever you want to do to yourself. But the Jets are frustrating. But I will be here through anything, whether we're winning the Super Bowl or whether we are terrible like we are right now. Richie from Jets Media will be here at all times, no matter what, through the ups and the downs. And I appreciate all the support as always, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really does mean a lot, all the support. So hit the like button if you guys enjoyed, and also leave a comment down below after the stream is over. Your thoughts about Zach Wilson and the entire Jets team so far this season. We're now 3-10. Not looking good, but the light is at the end of the tunnel. I promise you that. Let's go, Jets, guys. Appreciate the support. Love you guys.